Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today's beauty session is all about Givenchy. I purchased all 4 of their new highlighters, plus a bonus product that I've been curious about. I'm super excited about today's video. Not only are we going to get to swatch these, get a close-up, and even try these, but I'm creating this full face using Givenchy products. So if you're curious about today's beauty video, continue watching. If you're new to my channel, hi, I'm Iris. Welcome to my beauty corner, where we love to explore and discover new beauty and makeup. I would love for you to join our beauty community. So make sure that before you leave, you like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so that you don't miss any of my future content. Now let's get back to the video. Givenchy came out with 4 new highlighters, and the first thing I want to do is jump right in and give you an up close of these. Givenchy released these 4 new highlighters. I'm super excited about this. I am happy to show you guys up close what these really look like. I hope the camera can capture these to the fullest. I know it's never the same, in person, it's always going to be a little different. One interesting thing that I noticed on the box was that it does say dual tone illuminating powder. So I'm interested in seeing how these are going to perform. And another thing I do want to point out, check this out. They called this the Prisme Libre highlighter powder. That's it. Dual tone illuminating powder. No fancy, no long paragraph long names. I wish we could keep things a little more simple. Some of these names to products are way too long. Before we get into swatches, I want to compare the packaging to what we are familiar with. This one is the pressed powder, and the pressed powder does come with a little component here that carries the brush that they include. I have never used it, and I don't want to say I will never use it because you never know in an emergency, quote unquote emergency, in a makeup emergency. You never know. So it's there. I'm not taking it out. I'm not going to try to take this out. This is part of this whole compact, so I'm not going to ruin that. And I apologize, it is a little messy. The highlighter compacts do not include that little component, which I am absolutely happy about. Let's look at these side by side. This packaging is totally a magnet for fingerprints, like a lot of our luxury packaging. But let's look at the sizing. These are identical. These are totally identical. Now, I think it's pretty cool and convenient if you're carrying these in a case and stuff. The only thing is that, you would have to figure out a way to distinguish them between each other, Although on the back, you do have the names of these. So they're labeled on the back. But, I think that if you're trying to reach for something really quick, it would be kind of hard to figure out which one's which unless you are really organized and label everything. We have here lilac pink, rosy gold, pearly gold, and coral copper. Let's start our swatches with this lilac pink. As I'm looking at all 4 of these shades, right away, I can tell you that these 2 right here might be the most pigmented ones, but we'll see. We'll see. All right, so this one is lilac pink. Now that's on the first swipe. Let me go ahead and see if I can build it, because it does say it's buildable. Oh yeah. All right, and my goodness, that is a gorgeous, gorgeous shade. Now you can barely see the ultrafine pearly pigments. I don't see chunky glitter at all, so that's a good thing. At least I'm not into chunky glittery highlighter, your traditional highlighter. Now this one does have some pigment, so if you're not into lilac pink colors or shades, then this one might not be for you. I think it's beautiful. Next is a rosy gold. Let's check this one out. I can see the dual tone in this. It's gorgeous. That's on the first one. I'm gonna go for the second one. I want to see if these are buildable, that's why. And they are. My goodness, gorgeous. I'm totally into rosy gold tones. I feel like these tones complement my skin tone. And as you can see, it kind of blends into my skin there. These are supposed to have a blurring effect, so I'm interested in seeing how they're going to turn out on the face, on the skin. Next is the pearly gold, another one that you can see the dual tone. I mean, you could tell, you can see the dual tone on all of them, but I feel like these are more noticeable. Ooh. Oh my goodness, this is beautiful. If you have light or light medium skin tone or similar skin tone like mine, I'm going to tell you that this one is, my goodness, very subtle. We're looking at these under lighting, so of course it's going to enhance, you know, the pigments and the luminosity, but I'm trying to get you as close as possible. This one is definitely more of a glowy, luminous highlighter. If you're starting off with highlighters and you don't want it to be too intense, I would go with this one. This is number 3, pearly gold or rosy gold. These two right here. Now for the last one, this one is number 4, coral copper. Yeah, just as I expected. This one has a little more pigment. It's absolutely giving me summer vibes. Little copper tone there would be perfect with a bronzy look. Wow, that's gorgeous. I will tell you that I can see the pearl pigments on this one. But it's not, and I'm the type who doesn't like chunky glitter, okay? But this one is looking gorgeous. I would not be afraid of this one at all. These are definitely giving me a refined glow instead of like that intense or glittery highlighter effect. These are beautiful. I'm super excited. I can't wait to try these. My goodness. All right, now it's time to try these on. I do have mature skin, so highlighters are not always mature skin friendly. Recently, brands have been creating highlighters that are beautiful and don't emphasize texture. So I mean, that's what we want as mature skin people here. Or dry skin. You don't necessarily have to have mature skin, but if you have dry skin, you don't want, you know, any product to hang on those patches, you know, and emphasize those dry spots. Now that we've swatched these and looked at them up close, let's go ahead and get some Givenchy on this face. Now I'm going to start off with eyes. My bonus product is this eyeshadow that I have been totally curious about. Now this one is 9.12. As usual, I'll be adding all the links to these products for your shopping convenience. All right, so this is what the eyeshadow looks like. This one is a very neutral eyeshadow palette. The top rows are shimmers, and I see some satin as well. These are like satiny. So if they're like YSL, Hourglass maybe, or Dior, we'll see. They're more on the satin side. It does come with this cute little brush, which comes apart like this. So you carry it like this and then you put it together like this. So it's kind of cool. But I don't usually use the little brushes that these luxury brands add to their compacts. I just find them not to be as effective. They're just, maybe I should try it. Maybe I should try it and challenge myself. All right, let me go ahead and prep my eyes and I'll be right back. So my eyes are prepped, ready to go. I'm going to attempt to use this one, okay? Just so that I could say that I attempted it, but no guarantees that I'll last long. All right, so I'm gonna go in with, well, I want to go in with this one right here. I guess I could see if you were like, if it was urgent, you had to put on a face. I could see using these, but today I'm using the BK Beauty 212. Go back into that same shade. Ooh, much better. All right, so I ended up using this middle shade as my transitional shade, and I added it on my crease and a little bit higher above my crease. I have hooded eyes, so we know how that goes. Let's go for this one right here and see what that looks like. And I'm gonna deepen my crease. I'm gonna keep this on the outer part as well. Let me go ahead and switch my brush. I'm using the Sigma Christine Dominique. I don't think they sell them anymore, but it's like a fluffy shader. I'm gonna use the BK Beauty 211. This one is like a more precise blender brush. These smaller ones are excellent to get in the, you know, those little corners that you want to deepen. I switched over to the BK Beauty Angie Hot and Flashy 503 fluffier blending brush, just to kind of bring that out a little bit more. So I'm going to use this shade right here and apply it all over my lid. Now I'm going to go in with this one right here, like a taupey. It's got like a little bit of shimmer. It's actually looks metallic-y. Okay. Very nice. It's like a satiny, metallic-y, very subtle. I feel like most luxury brand eyeshadow palettes lean more on like subtle shades. Shades that have pigment but they're not too strong. So I don't know. If you like something that's subtle, you're gonna love this here. This definitely looks like an office, like a professional looking eyeshadow. now, before I add my little topper here, because I think I'm going to go between these two, I might go with this one for my topper. I do want to go back in and darken this even more. I'm going to use this shade right here. Well, at least see if I can darken it even more. And I'm just keeping it on the outer corner of my eye. Giving it a little more dimension there. Okay, I like that. I really like that. Just tapping it on my outer corner. Okay. All right. Liking this so far. I don't see any patchiness. Nice. Now I want to try this one right here, to the center one, to give it a little pop in the center of my lid. Ooh, that is nice. Oh, that's really nice. See how it gives it a nice, focus in the center of the lid. I'm really, really happy with this. I was afraid that, especially for the price point, you want luxury eyeshadow that's gonna have pigment in it, I mean, I like subtle looks because most of my looks are like soft glam, but once in a while you want to be able to build it and make it a more, intense look. So these shades are definitely buildable. So as far as fallout, this palette has minimal to no fallout, so that's pretty cool. I want to take this a step further, and I want to highlight my brow bone using this one right here. Trying to use as many today. Okay. I like to blend the edges just so that it looks, you don't want to blend everything because then it's going to look super muddy. You just want to kind of go in there and blend those two together, the brow bone shade. Oh my goodness, this palette is gorgeous. Okay, so I went ahead and cleaned up. I added eyeliner and mascara. So for my eyeliner, I ended up using the KVD tattoo liner in Mad Max Brown. As far as my eyelashes, I ended up prepping them with the Lancome Booster lash primer. And I used a combination of Giorgio Armani and Miss Charlotte Tilbury Legendary Lashes Volume 2. I like to use combo mascaras, and I mean, I feel like my eyelashes are fuller. I'm loving how they look. My goodness, this eye look, woo, this is a beautiful eye look. At least I think so. All right, so for the rest of my face, I'm gonna prep my face really quick, and then we can continue on with the Givenchy products. I'm gonna use my Tear toner. If you have dry skin, you'll love this toner. I can only reference dry skin because that's my skin type. This one is super refreshing. It's the Tear Milk Skin Toner. I'm using my CeraVe moisturizer. I know CeraVe is not luxury, but I've had a nice little routine going and it's been working for me. I'm trying to keep things minimal. Sometimes we got to reduce you know, what we're using to help our skin. And of course, I'm going to use my Shiseido, which I have it bottled in a smaller bottle, my Shiseido sunscreen. Today I'm going to be using my new, this one is a new bottle of the CL Prime and Protect SPF 30. I love this primer so much. Now that I've prepped my skin, we can move on to complexion. And I have here both the concealer and the foundation, which I have included in my my foundation quest series that I have. It's a series of shorts, my luxury foundation quest. And so this turned out to be absolutely impressive. So let's go for the concealer first. Super creamy. I'm going in with the IT Cosmetics brush that's sold at Ulta for my complexion. My A506. My beauty sponge to make sure it's blended in there. And by the way, the concealer is in N250 and the foundation is in 3N. This foundation is so luxurious. It blends so good into your skin. It just like melts into your skin. I always think I want a product that works with me and not against me. I want something that I'm not having to correct, that's just effortless. And this one is one of them. If you don't like glow, then you might not like this. It doesn't have much, maybe a little bit of fragrance to it. It does have a little bit though. But you'll see right now, the finish is just absolutely gorgeous. I always like to go in with my beauty sponge just to further blend that foundation into my skin. It just looks so good after you do this. See, oh my goodness, there's glow everywhere. Once you start setting your makeup, you're not going to see it like that. I mean, you could leave glow wherever you want. That's the beauty of makeup. You customize it to what you like. Excellent. All right, so I don't have a liquid. I don't even think Givenchy has a liquid bronzer, but I'm gonna go with the Dior The Dior bronzer stick. I'm using my BK Beauty and Nikki LaRose N15 for this one. I have brushes to wash. They're waiting for me. Oh my goodness. I've let them sit there too long. Now I have a bunch to wash. I'm going to stop there. I'm going to set my makeup because I want to try these highlighters on before I finish my full look. My setting powder is in 03. Gonna go in for some more. We have 1 and 2. This one is the lilac pink and this one is the rosy gold. So I'm gonna do lilac pink on this side and rosy gold on this side. I'm using like-minded brushes. I know they look super fluffy, but I'm gonna be careful with them. I don't have enough of like the same kind of brushes for highlighter, and the ones that I usually use are dirty right now, so my apologies. I gotta clean them today. So we're gonna go in with this one. And by the way, this one is similar to the other ones. So this is a Luxie blush. It's the 522 tapered highlighter. I'm gonna be generous. I'm not gonna be shy with this one. I wanna see how they look. So wish me luck. Okay, let's build it up. Nice. This highlighter does give a little blur. And it's a glow. It's not like sparkles and stuff. Nice. It's subtle, yet you could notice it, you know? All right, moving on to rosy gold, using a different brush. Ooh. Again, no sparkle, it's more of a glow. And this is reminding me of the Hourglass. Even though the Hourglass highlighters are liquid highlighters, it's reminding me of that product where it's not sparkly, even though they have pearls, like super fine pearl pigments. It's more glowy than, you know, it's more radiant and glow than a sparkle and stuff. Wow. So here we have lilac pink and rosy gold. Now, for the last two, I'm going to do pearly gold on this side and coral copper on this side. Super exciting. We have 2 additional clean brushes, and I'm going in. I'm not being shy with this because I want to see how they really look. Okay, so pearly gold is very subtle. If you want to try these and you're not sure because you don't want them to be too intense, this one is the one I would go with. It is very subtle, yet you can still see the shine right there. It's more not shine, it's more like a glow. And I mean, I can see it, but let's see if we can build it more. You can build it, but it just blends into your skin and gives you that glow. And last, but definitely not least, the coral copper. This one has some pigment to it. This one does have some pigment to it. Very glowy. More of a summertime shade. This is really nice. Now this is the one that I noticed the pearls a little bit more than the other one. So if you're afraid of that showing, then I would probably not go with this, but it's still beautiful. So we have here pearly gold. And coral copper. Both beautiful. All four of these are beautiful. I'm even happier now that I've, tried them on. I was, wondering how are they going to look. There's a difference between swatching them and actually having them applied on your face. So I'm very happy with this. All right, so I got to choose one of these for my final look. And let me clean up and I'll be right back. I'm going to be honest with you. I can't think right now. I'm not sure if they have blushes or anything. I really doubt it. So the only blush that I've come across is the powder blush, and I'm not too fond of the idea of having a powder blush, but I'm hoping that they expand their beauty line. So I'm gonna end up going with another luxury product here, the Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk Cheek Tint, and this one is in 62. I'll add the name of it. Some of these brands tend to just include the number, and then you got to kind of look it up and stuff as far as the name of it. But I'm going to go ahead and apply this one so I could finish my full face of makeup today. I'm using my BK Beauty 109. Now I'm going to go ahead and set with my pressed powder here. My powder puff. I know there's been conversation before in regards to the Givenchy loose powder. I do have, which I like to use sometimes, my mini one. Now this is the new formula and I use it just once in a while. I know that a lot of people did not like the reformulation of this powder, and with good reason. The original powder was excellent. Honestly, I don't use this one all the time, and I still actually have the original powder, and so I use that very just once in a while because I don't want it to go away, because I know once it's gone forever. So I do like to use this mini one. I mainly use this mini one for my my eyes when I'm trying to change it up and set my eyes. But today's a special occasion. We're trying on Givenchy products, so I'm gonna get a little bit there. This is the Sigma and Kristen Dominique. I keep on wanting to say Christine, but I think it's Kristen Dominique. I'm not sure if they still sell. I don't think they sell this. All right, now for my bronzer, I've got to use my Givenchy bronzer. This is one of my favorite bronzers. This one does have that flap that I wish it didn't have. And for my blush, I'm going to be using the Giorgio Armani powder blush in 51. This is what it looks like. Going to be using the Sigma and Kristen Dominique angled cheek brush, similar to their angled brush. Let's do lilac pink. This is the one that stands out the most, to be honest with you. This one and the coral copper both are a little more noticeable. They stand out more. I'm gonna go ahead and use the BK Beauty and Nikki LaRose SN20. This one is, the bristles are excellent for diffusing product. That is so beautiful. I like that you can control how intense the glow is. You can build it if you want, or just, you know, just give it a light touch to it. For my eyeliner, since I ended up going with a more pinky blush, I'm going to go with Empire. I'm using the Urban Decay eyeliner. This one is in between like a grayish purple. I want to smudge out that liner with one of these shades. I'm using the BK Beauty N22. And I'm going to go in with this one right here, the center one. And just smudge out the bottom lash line. Gonna add some mascara. Now for lips, I only have one Givenchy lip liner. I'm telling you, I've been saying this for a bit. I need to build my lip. I'm building my lip products. I guess specifically for Givenchy, I need to add more. This one, by the way, is in 10 Beige Mousseline. All right. And I want to top that with my Dior lip gloss, Dior Addict in 013. I'm going to lock this all in with the new Dior setting spray. I love this stuff. This is so, not only does it smell so good, but it feels so good on the skin. And this is my final look using Givenchy products for my makeup today. This eyeshadow palette did amazing. I'm loving this eye look. And I ended up choosing the lilac pink for my highlighter. This highlighter is gorgeous. So after trying all 4 of these highlighters, I feel like they're really about that soft glow, nothing intense and nothing glittery, that's for sure. Just very elegant on the skin, which I'm absolutely loving. I do think they're especially nice if you prefer something a little more subtle. The 2 most pigmented are 1, which is lilac pink, and 4, which is the coral copper. So those 2 might be a little more noticeable, I guess you would say, but they still have subtlety to them. They're not super intense. They definitely don't emphasize texture, which I absolutely love. So Givenchy, 10 out of 10 on these highlighters. And quickly, as far as the eyeshadow palette, I will say that this is a neutral eyeshadow palette that you can glam out. So it's really nice. The formula is really good. There is no patchiness. These eyeshadows are 10 out of 10 as well. I would love to know what you think about Givenchy and these new highlighters. Specifically, which one of these shades stood out for you the most? And are you the type who likes a softer glow highlighter or the more traditional intense highlighter? Leave your thoughts in the comments. I would love to know what you think. All right, my dear friends, that wraps up today's Givenchy video. Thank you so much for spending some time with me, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. I will see you next time. Bye.